Welcome to Ni Santas Ni Diablas,
where we are unapologetically imperfect.
Join us as we defy society's labels of what it is to be a good girl.
We are your hosts, Kay,
Miriam,
and Rami.
Welcome to the safe space.
Oh, that part we say together.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
Hello.
How are ya? How are you guys?
All right.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Good?
Chilling.
Can't complain.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this episode came up to me because I had an experience recently with family. We all love family.
During Easter?
No.
Oh.
So we're gonna be talking about respect especially in the Latin community.
Mm-hmm.
She said that mad Puerto Rican.
I know.
Where'd the S go?
That's not how you say it.
Respeto.
That's how they say it. So a couple of days ago, like family came over.
Yeah.
And it was family I haven't seen in a minute and stuff like that. And you know how, like, growing up, if family come over, it's like one thing, you should come downstairs.
Say hi.
Say hi.
Come out of your room. Say hi.
So, being that I still live at home, I'm 26, doesn't mean nothing. No Latin home. It took me a minute to come home.
Mm-hmm.
To come downstairs to, like, greet them and stuff like that. And, like, I was in the mood. It was Saturday. I just didn't want to do anything and stuff like that. But I know with this family, one thing that always comes up is weight.
Mm-hmm.
I know I gained weight. It's an obvious, but I know it's always something they say. It doesn't bother me at this point. It's kind of like, oh,
annoying.
Whatever. So I got ready. I came down. I said hi to my aunt. I said hi to like a cousin that came from Ecuador. I don't really know her. And then my great uncle. Not even like 2 seconds in, he pinches my fat and says, like, oh, la misma como tu mamá. And says basically, oh, the same like your mom. Right in front of my mom.
Yeah.
Basically saying, oh, you've gained a lot of weight. And like, obvious. So that kind of like brought me up to like a fact of like, we were always told to respect our elders and stuff like that. And I remember prior months, I saw a TikTok of this girl. She's like, growing up Latin, this is what my kids won't do. And it made me think of stuff. And I started to like really think of the aspect of like, how many times that we call it respect or we just let things go and stuff.
Yeah, like when you're greeting someone.
Yeah. So I searched it up. Like, we know what respect means in like world, but I wanted to search it up in the Latin like
definition.
Yeah. So I found it on a website. Like, kind of broke down like respeto, and it says Latinos place a high value on demonstrating respeto in interactions with others, which literally translates into respect.
Yeah.
And it was like, respeto means that each person is expected to defer to those who are in a position of authority because of age, gender, social position, title, and economic status, etc. And I kind of thought about them, like, we're always told to what? To respect our what? Our elders, right? So I was like,
yes, teacher.
Yeah. So I was
Was that a question for me?
So I was thinking about like for me growing up, what were certain things that it's not so much a question, it was something we always had to do.
Yeah.
And one of them was always greeting. You always greet everyone you see.
Yeah.
Especially your elders. Like that was one. And then what was like another one? Like coming down when there's company. Not getting into someone else's conversation, especially like the older people and stuff like that.
I feel like that happens a lot. You know, like during a party, it's like the kids are having fun and like all the viejas are just like having coffee. You know, you don't sit at the table. Like you don't like put your 2 cents in or listening too much. Like that's like disrespectful.
Yes. And I remember for me growing up too, one of the big things my parents always were, when someone's talking to them, so you look at them, you make eye contact, and you respond. You don't be like, I'm fine, I'm okay. And like, so a lot of that, I searched up, it came up like etiquette and like, it was in Mexican culture, but I read it up, and it was actually pretty similar to a lot of, I think, Dominican, and just like a lot of like, a whole bunch of like,
It was relatable throughout Latin America.
So it was cool because they broke down like your basic etiquette and then like going to like someone's house, like going to casa ajena, like one, you would never look into the refrigerator.
Facts.
Like you don't overstay your stay.
Don't take a shit in their bathroom.
Yeah, like.
Got it.
For me, I was also, don't ask that you're hungry. Like don't say you're hungry.
Yeah.
Like
just water.
Yeah,
That's
like
it.
Yeah, and a lot of them like, okay, I grew up with this. I relate with this. Like always say salud when someone sneezes, like stuff like that. You know, it was like one of them was like, men open the door for women and stuff like
don't leave directly after a meal has been served. Okay, gracias, nos vemos.
yeah.
Bye.
But a lot of them it was a lot of that came down to was like showing a lot of respect to the older generation.
Yeah.
And it made me really think, like I'm saying, like I felt super disrespected that day. I felt disrespected for one because you disrespected me and then you also disrespected my mom.
And there was like, I feel like there was some sort of like physical boundary crossed as well.
Yes.
This is not someone you see often. This is not someone you're comfortable with. And just
Yeah.
because your family does not
Yes.
make that like a pass, like a okay.
And I was thinking about it, I was like, was I overreacting because we were going to go out to eat after? And I said, you know what? I'm not going to go out to eat. And I was like, am I overreacting? Like, and for me, I felt like, no, I'm not overreacting because this is something that happens all the time. Like, this is,
What is your relationship to him?
he's my great uncle. Like, I was like,
But like, how close are you?
we were like, I love him. We're close.
Oh yeah, you love your family. But
You
like,
love your family.
How close? Like, were you like raised around him? Does he always come around?
We were raised around him, but he ended up getting a divorce. So he is the brother of my grandfather. We didn't start seeing him. It stopped kind of seeing him after he got a divorce from his wife. But he's not the only one who makes those comments. Like I have cousins who I'm very close with too, where weight is always a subject.
Like, you fat phobic? Huh?
And mind you,
Started shouting
The
around.
answer is yes.
but the thing
Period.
is too, like
The answer
they're
is yes,
not
they
skinny
are.
themselves
Yeah.
either. So I was like really thinking about that, and that TikTok
Yeah.
brought up. So that's one ways we always show respect. I don't know if like it's different for you guys, like saying thank you, especially when you're like being served or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
thank you. Don't ask for seconds. Like, even though they always offer seconds, don't ask for seconds. No, you're good. Just water.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a little different
Okay.
than whatever you guys are talking about. I mean, yeah, like we da la bendición. We like si un ma, si un pa, si un tío, si un tía. Always say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Or like if you can't like go one by one, or like you don't really know anybody, you just be like, oh, saludos.
Yeah.
And keep it pushing. What else did you guys say? The whole eating thing. I don't know. Like when I go to the campo and they're like, you want food? Hell the fuck yeah, I want food. Do you want more? Yeah. And like it's not like a disrespect thing. Like what else did you guys mention?
I think it's more not like if I'm offered, it's more like don't be the first to bring it up, kind of like that.
Yeah, no,
Like
I would
that.
still be like, sobro. Or I'd just be like, yo, the food was mad good. Like, Ima. Ya comieron. Like, I mean, I feel like, ya comieron todo. Like, or even at my house, like, I'll be like, that's more respect thing. Like, ya comieron. Okay, I can go for seconds. It's not in my family, I would say. I don't know how it is in other Dominican families. Food is not much of an issue because we always cook for like 1,000 people.
Facts.
So
I don't think it's so much about family. It's more casa ajena, going to other people's houses who are not family. Those are like more rules that I use.
What do you say, like not family or like family you just don't see often?
yeah, because that's the thing. Like I don't really go to people's house that aren't really family.
Well,
like they're always like involved in some way. So the same rules apply.
For me, those are more big on like my parents are a little bit more social.
Yeah.
So like we would go to other people's houses that are not family.
Oh,
That we
I don't.
that so like that for me it's like
I go to like my mom's like comadre's house, which is like, but at the end of the day,
it's kind of like
it's still family.
Yeah,
like
so-
it's still someone you know. Like I'm not going. My parents aren't going to like.
They don't have
I don't know. Yeah, like a friend's house, and if it's a friend, it's like a family friend.
Yeah.
So like the same
it's
rules.
like family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and they never had that talk with us because it's kind of just like
Just know.
you don't. We're not in that situation.
Yeah.
Like everyone we fuck with heavy.
Yeah.
You know, like we're not gonna be like, you know, sitting at a table with someone who's not family.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. I know personally. I mean, I'm not gonna go to my friend's house, like an American household, and look at their fridge and stuff like that. Out of respect, but it's nothing. It's not.
I don't think I have American friends.
No, like, well, you're my American friend. You live in America.
Oh, I thought you meant like
people who live in America, like
who
I'm
are
not-
like are
no, like white.
from
No.
here.
No, I'm saying like people like you
Oh, okay.
guys.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna go in your fridge, but like if I go to DR and I go to my friend's house and I'm like, tengo hambre, and then they're gonna be like, go ahead, like see what you find, or like sobró comida de ayer, so go ahead, heat up some food. Like I feel comfortable enough to like go in their fridge, but I would never feel comfortable enough to go in your fridge.
Yeah. No, I get that. So yeah, that when I was more like we're at other people's houses, I've been taught that, but it got me into that conversation of, like I said, is it because it's respect, or we're letting things go for so long that it's like, so
like what aspect
would like always respect your elders? I've been disrespected by elders so many times, and I wouldn't say it's because they wanted to be disrespectful. It's just their comments are disrespectful.
Yeah.
I feel like no one checks them as well, because
that's the thing. That was my follow-up question. Do you say anything?
So that's where I was coming from. So this girl, like on TikTok, I wish I could find the video. The first thing she said, as a mother, when I'm a mother, I will never, I won't force my kids to say hi or go to a family relative they don't know.
I don't like that.
And but I experienced that so much, where you have a baby and that relative has not met that baby, and the relative is offended because the baby doesn't want to go to the relative, or the baby doesn't want to go give a kiss, and they're literally like, oh no, dal beso, like, and they literally force that. And I've experienced that many of times.
I mean, yeah, but I still don't agree with that.
No, and that's the thing, I don't agree with it.
No.
But a lot of times it happens. Like,
I mean, you can say hi, but you don't have to give them a kiss.
Second of all, like, it's a baby. Like, it happened to my goddaughter too. Like, she didn't, like, even to this day, like, now she fucks with me, but like, there was times like where I would see her once a month, because like, shit, I'm busy, like, and you live all the way in Jersey. And she would run away from me.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would feel disrespected if her parents didn't try to be like, no, you have to go say hi. Go give her a kiss, even if she's crying. Because then, like, I feel some type of way. So, like, I don't think that's valid. Family is still family at the end of the day.
I feel like it depends as well. Like, you giving your, like, I don't know, like, your godmother a kiss or whatever. But, like, someone you see maybe once a month, like, I just feel like there's certain things like you can say hi without being so like contact and physical. And you can still say hi without even touching someone at all.
Yeah, so but in Latin it's very known to, like, if
you have to,
you're at least like, did you give
hug,
a
kiss?
I'm still by that. I don't care. If my kids, I'm just like, go give her a kiss, go give her a hug.
And that's,
I'm not.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, but it gets to a point where it's like, I've experienced though relatives being offended, and like, you don't teach your kid to say hi. She hasn't seen you. He hasn't seen you. I don't want to force my kid. It's going to make the situation worse. Like, I will, like, did you say hi? Obviously of an older aspect, like, you should greet. It's also a respectful thing.
Yeah, but I understand, like, because I would feel like that's disrespectful. Like, if my kids don't go up to you guys and besa la mano, that's disrespectful. You're grounded.
Yes.
I mean, you could say hi, hug, but I just feel like a kiss sometimes is a little too personal.
So that was where I was kind of like...
It's a culture thing.
Yeah, that's where I was 50-50.
I think it's fine.
That was where I was 50-50, because she was dead. Like, my kids don't have to say hi to you.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're family or not. Like, my kids don't have... And that's where I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was very like, oh, I don't know, I feel like disrespectful. But then I saw another TikTok where a girl said, my mom made me kiss everybody and hug everybody. And I grew up thinking that was normal.
Yeah.
And I was a victim of sexual assault, because I thought it was okay for grown-ups to always
touch
give me
you,
a kiss,
hug
give me
you,
a hug.
sit on your lap.
And I thought of it. I'm like, okay, I can see where that can also get blurred, because you're teaching.
I can see that, but
it's also that respect part. Like,
so my thing is, everything comes with education. You have to educate your children.
Yes.
And it also comes with culture. I feel like those people who think like that are more in an American culture. They're more Americanized. No offense, but you're more Americanized.
Yeah.
So like, I'm still like in one foot out the other when it comes to like being in DR.
You're first gen.
And that too. And like, how many times do I go to DR?
Yeah.
I have a whole apartment that's being built for me. Like, so I feel like when people think like that, they're way more influenced with their American cultures. Because to me, a kiss on the cheek is nothing. It's nothing. Now, when it comes to like, oh, I think that's normal. I think it's normal. I've kissed strangers in the cheek.
Yes, I have too.
Like when I'm usually hanging out with my cousins and we go to like the clubs in Patterson and Passaic, like where there's a lot of Dominicans, you meet someone like,
greet them.
As when you leave, like, oh, bye, kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
I kiss the stranger on the cheek. Like that comes with the culture. So for me, that's not sexualized. For me, that's normal.
Yeah.
Kiss on the cheek, a hug.
Yeah.
I'm a hugger when it comes to like meeting people of my culture. Like hug, and then usually there's like a not even a kiss. It's like a tap on the cheek.
Yeah. It's not like
you guys tap each other on the cheek.
Yeah.
So that's normal for me. When it comes to the sexualization of it, that's exactly what it is. People sexualize it, and that's when you have to like educate your kids. That's when education of this is right, this is wrong. If this happens, let me know.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna have my kids do that because someone was raped.
Yeah, that's
Fuck. Like that's the whole world.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna have your kids walk outside because someone was raped outside. You have to educate your kids.
And that's how I felt too, because I didn't really agree with her saying like my kids don't have to say hi. Another thing, like if my kids don't have to show you respect if they don't know you.
I feel like there's levels and like different ways to like greet someone and communicate
like,
and
for me,
say
I didn't agree with that.
Yeah.
Because
not
it's kind of
respect.
it's
like
kinda,
I feel like respect has to be universal. Like
yes.
you can't be like, yeah, don't respect them because you don't know them.
Yeah, because that's like kind of giving my child the saying like, you don't have to. You can be disrespectful off the bat.
And then I go as like against like morals. You know, if you're teaching your child like morals, like, you know, you treat someone with respect and blah, 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 then you're just kind of flipping it and then making, oh, but not when this happens or not with this person or da, 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 da. You know what I mean?
So then growing up, I always had a problem with like kind of like listening to authority. I struggle with that. We were also raised, if something is said, you don't question it. For me, I always think about, there was times where I should have questioned it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't make those boundaries set. I didn't set those boundaries. So like for my uncle who said that wait comment, I told my parents, like, I know it was disrespectful, but he's an older man.
He's harmless.
He
blah,
doesn't
blah, blah,
think. I'm like, I understand that,
Yeah.
but it gets to a point like we've allowed it for so long.
Yeah.
It's like
It's uncalled for.
like mentally, you don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
What happened if that was my 13th reason?
No, and
That's
it's
the
been like that,
13th
but
reason.
that's why we have to be like, I'm okay. So like, you know, the whole, oh, don't talk back shit. In my family, we talk back to each other, like not disrespectfully, but I'm gonna address it.
Speak up.
Yeah, we speak up. So even in my family from DR in the campo, like you'll see the little kids, like when they know something's not right, they will say something. Like those carajitos, you cannot get them to do shit that's not fair because they'll be like, fuck you mean. So and so did it. Why can't I do it?
I used to get in trouble a lot because I would never, in a way, consider being back down. I would always speak up, especially when it came to like double standards with my brother.
Yeah.
I would always say something, and that was being disrespectful. And this is my opinion. Your opinion doesn't matter until you're married and out of the house. It doesn't matter.
Wait, that was your what?
In my opinion, about when it comes to feeling some type of way about things in the culture, I feel like it's not really acknowledged until you're married.
I kind of feel that. Yeah.
Do you feel that? Because a lot of times, I'm 26 years old. That don't mean shit. I've said something, and it's kind of like, well, that's how it is. If I was 26, if I'm married right now, had my own home, it would have been a very different.
You'll get more respected and you'll get more heard. I kind of understand that. Yeah.
So like, I feel like sometimes my parents understood. Like I got upset about it.
Yeah.
Like you overreacted a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I was married and
I don't think you overreacted.
No, I didn't.
I feel like you didn't react.
No, I didn't react.
I wish you would have reacted.
I didn't react at that moment because out of respect for my mom at that time.
Yeah.
My mom was kind of
make it like something.
Like, they haven't like, you know, it was, you know, I didn't want to, but
I don't feel like you overreacted by not going to lunch. Like I just feel like you should have said something.
So I pulled my parents aside. I told them, you need to say something.
They're not going to say shit though.
I know. But I told them, you need to be aware of it. And I told my mom, she's like, don't worry, by next year. And I said, no.
By next year?
No. She's saying by next year, I'm going to be looking down. I'm like, it's not about you.
Wait.
Yeah.
The comment was saying, mom.
So she's saying she's going to lose the weight, so it's fine.
And that's when I told her, I said.
It's not even about the weight. It's about the comment.
I said, and that's when I told her, I said, it's not about how you should look. It's about that respect off the bat.
Right.
Doesn't mean he did it in a malicious way. It was disrespectful, and you were brought into it.
Yeah.
And not only you were brought into it, it was done in front of your face. I know I gained weight. I understand that. I knew that when I was coming down, you were going to say something about my weight. What pissed me off was that you touched me. You physically pinched my skin.
I'd have been like,
no, I went like this.
Literally.
I went like this. You literally pinched my skin and gave a backhanded compliment in such a passive-aggressive way. And that's when I'm like, okay, these are boundaries that need to be set. Yeah. I don't want to set these boundaries when I have kids. Yeah. Because I'm not going to deal with someone who's going to constantly talk about my weight when I go see them. And like I said, and sometimes weight, we think of also us gaining weight. My brother's girlfriend, she is skinnier, and she's very insecure when people say, you're very skinny, you need to eat. And I never thought, and that's also detrimental to the mind as well. Because you don't know what that person's going to. You don't know if that person is in complete all of their body and they love it.
Does she ever experience that, like, when she's greeting people at family functions?
She's experienced it. I've seen times where people are like, oh, you need to eat. You need to put some meat on the bones. And I get the opposite. Like, all right, put the plate down.
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to that, so, like, obviously, like, weight is an issue with my family, too. You just have to, like, face it. Yeah. The second you open up and say something, they'll shut up. They'll only say as much as you allow them to say. Like, for real. So I've had that situation. Like, when I go to DR, everybody wants to say, I mean, they ain't say shit now, but like when I would go to DR, when I gained weight, and then they would be like, oh wow, like you gained weight. And I was like, yeah, and you got ugly. My dad does the same shit too. Yeah. Like, we always hit them with the, we have money. I always hit them with the, yeah, but I'm working hard. And I was like, you know how I pay for that food? I work. So, that's like, good. As soon as you give it back to them, like, they're like, what? Like, they feel offended. I'm just like, dude, I love that, but you're ugly. I to this day, I'm like, bueno. Y esa cara. Because they be like, wow, tú estás comiendo, muy bien, y lo estoy pagando también. And I'll be like, y esa cara se está poniendo vieja, eso no cambia. Oh my God. So, like, I give it straight back to them, and the second you do that, it's they're like, all right, you got it.
I have not experienced that because I have a cousin who I give it back to her, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's always a weight thing. It's always a weight. She's consumed with weight.
Are you close to this people? Because I don't know any people that I'm close to that will continuously
straight up be constantly disrespectful.
Right?
I'm like, fuck you. You ain't never gonna hear from me, see me. Don't talk to me.
She's a great person. She is. No.
You can't. Great person. No, after you say
disrespectful.
I don't think you're great. You're
okay.
Okay. She's very, like, we are close. Yeah. But she's always weight. It's always talking about her weight. It's always talking about my weight. It's always talking about her weight. Like,
I feel like at that point you should
address the problem.
Yeah, you should address that. Like, let's not talk about weight because I am okay with my weight. Yeah, and I do not feel like discussing that with you. Yeah, and if you have a problem with your weight, you can discuss that with your husband.
So like when when my uncle said that, I didn't say anything at the moment because I know how I was gonna react. It wasn't gonna be like, you're ugly too. I was gonna curse him out.
Yeah, you should have.
I was gonna curse him out, and at that point, I just didn't. That was one moment I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna remove myself, but I'm gonna let my parents know I'm not going for this reason. And that, I think that was like the first time ever my parents kind of saw me like, okay, I didn't,
Did they say something to him or no? That's what
I don't know if they said it. I didn't see them.
Follow up. Okay.
I didn't see them after that. I didn't see them after that. But my dad was pissed. Because comments like that, like I said, are detrimental. Yeah. And it wasn't, and for me, it was the whole, you disrespected, you were out of context on every level. Physically, the way you said it.
Yeah, I don't like that he touched you. Like, I would have slapped his hand.
So.
Try it.
So, that's for me, like, when I have kids, if I do ever have kids, I'm gonna beat that in the butt. I'm gonna be like, if I ever hear like someone say that comment, like, you don't say that. That's a joke. And Latinos are very big to comment like, "Oh, mira mi gordita." I
know.
And I get it. And I get it. Like, when you see like but after time, it's not so much in an affectionate way.
Like cariño way. It's more like
it starts to become a disrespectful kind of thing. I don't want that for my kids. I don't want that I don't want my kids to feel like that's always normal. Like, oh, I'm gonna go see my aunt.
Every time I see her, she says da 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 da.
I feel like maybe because I don't know, it's every person has a different perspective. Because I mean, it used to bother me, but then I came to a point where it just stopped bothering me. So I was never like, oh, I have to see my aunt that's gonna say shit, because I'm like, honestly,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't affect me. And the second that comes with like also teaching your children like self-worth and self-value, people are gonna say shit regardless. Just keep a mental note that of the people who are saying that shit, they're still family at the end of the day. Respect this. I don't give a fuck. You have to respect your family, older or younger. You still have to give that respect, but just make a mental note and, you know, keep your distance.
I feel like with self-worth, it's obviously gained over time, but I feel like sometimes it still needs to like be addressed. It's like, I heard her, whatever, but like, I don't know, still like say something.
Oh,
like,
definitely. You should definitely say something. Because like I said, the second you say something, you speak up, they shut up. They'll only say as much as you allow them to say, and it can only control you as much as you allow it to control you. So the second that they say it, just be like, you know, you can go two ways. You can do my way, and just like fight fire with fire, or you can be like, listen, can I talk to you? Like, I don't like when you talk about my weight. You could either be honest, it's something that I struggle with and I am trying, and every time you mention it, it does not make me feel good. And you are aiding in that self-destruction. So if you want to continue that, you won't no longer be a part of my life, period. And that's it.
And I started to think about being in a relationship with someone who's not of the Latin community. So like, Latins can make comments, and it's not like they're thinking. They're not thinking. They have freaking mouth vomit, and they just be making comments. So I've dated someone who's experienced those comments, and it's kind of like,
for what?
Why was that needed? And then that's also where the boundary lines kind of like, I was told someone, they say that because you haven't set boundaries. And I was like, what do you mean I haven't set boundaries?
That's what I'm talking. Like, once you set those boundaries.
Yes. And it made me really think. And like at one point, there was someone I was dating, and I was coming home late. Mind you, I'm an adult. Like, I'm like,
mind you, I'm an adult.
We've discussed this 100 times. That don't mean shit.
That means
continue.
My dad.
That don't mean shit.
I love my dad, but my dad spoke to him like as if he's holding me hostage. And he didn't like that. He's like, do you not tell your parents, like, you're at your own free will? And I was like, I have. He's like, no, you haven't set those boundaries, because he's coming to me like as if I'm doing something wrong. Like I told you go home when it's the appropriate time, but you come. It's like, it's also like Latinos are really big on saying their opinions on their significant other too, about like talking to them. I've experienced where my aunt will go talk to someone who my cousin's dating. Let's go talk. I've experienced that. And it's like, do you set boundaries of like what, like, don't, like, if you're going to talk to my significant other, it's like boundaries. Like, do you hold those boundaries?
I mean, I haven't really been in that situation, because every time I bring him around family, we're just like all together hanging out. Like, we're all just in discussion. We're all talking about a subject. No one's like by themselves doing their own thing. So I haven't been in that situation, but I feel like there's no need for like an uncle or a cousin to talk to him separately, unless it's like
a father figure or mother figure
about like sneakers. He's like, oh, can I talk? Like, I don't know, like, you know, stupid shit like that.
I had a cousin, and I didn't like it at all. Honestly, you don't have to say that. When I first brought someone over, like, if you heard, I'm gonna mess you up. Like, I didn't like that.
I don't really care. I think that's funny.
No,
I feel like it's just like
and it wasn't in a funny way. The way he said it was very, like, he didn't even say hi to him. It was in a very passive way, and I didn't like that. And I was kind of like, can you let him say hi first? Like, you know, and stuff like that.
I don't know. I'll be doing that to Stacey's boyfriend. I haven't spoken to him, but if I do, I'll be like.
She got a man's now?
We're gonna edit it.
Okay.
And then I know someone where that boundary hasn't been set with the mother. Where the mother called the boyfriend, yelling at the boyfriend, "You're not being a man. You got to do all this stuff, blah, blah, blah." And I feel like I've experienced a lot of Latin moms especially are very quick to like tell the significant other like how they feel. Especially for me, I've experienced Latin mothers to the girl that their son is dating. It's like quicker than like getting water. They have said something. And I feel like with all these respect things in the Latin community, it's all about boundaries.
Yeah.
And we tend not to set some. It's kind of like, it's old age.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks and stuff like that.
I feel like especially being like a girl, sometimes it feels like we don't have a voice, even though it's just like, they don't flat out say, "'cause you're a girl, blah, 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 blah." But it's like, I don't know. For me, it's like when you're not constantly, but it's like you're kind of surrounded by like men and like their personalities.
Yes.
It's like, maybe you'd feel like if I say something, maybe it's like not respected.
Yeah. So that's like something I don't want to pass down to my kids. But then there's certain things I do want to pass on, like greeting.
Yeah.
Greet. You walk into a room, you greet someone.
Yeah.
You say hello to them. I also like the fact, which is not a common practice in the Latin, you ask the father for your hand in marriage. I like that.
I feel like I don't think that's only a Latino thing.
I think that's like an everybody
thing. It is a thing, but like in a Latin, that's like my dad has said it. If he doesn't ask me, I'm gonna feel very disrespected off the front, and like
my parents haven't said anything.
My parents be like,
yeah, I feel like that's
you pick
like,
who you pick.
No, but I feel like that's
like common,
a general like thing. You know, if you don't do it, like, what animal are you?
Yeah. Well, I know, but that's the thing. I've dated
like,
people. Yeah. That's not common.
Yeah.
Like
it is though. That's what I'm saying.
No, like what they grew.
If you're if you're in a traditional, if you're asking for someone, if you guys have a traditional way of living, I guess, like that's one of the traditions.
I mean, I did have to tell my boyfriend. I said, that is something that I want. I feel like he wasn't really with people who were traditional in the past or had some form of tradition. So I feel like that's something I had to say and I had to establish because I wasn't sure if he knew that's what I wanted. So I flat out said that. I was like, this is what I want.
But then, like, do you say that from the start or like when you're about to get engaged?
I mean, I already said that.
Well,
so.
we for us, I think it's
you take that knowledge and you store it.
For us, we've seen it's common, but it's actually common for people not to follow that.
Yeah,
I've had people like, why? You know you want to marry that person, like why does that should dictate whether you should get married? So that a lot of people.
I feel like I guess it depends who you talk to because everybody I've spoken to, like that's been a given. It's like, oh yeah, like now I have to like
I gotta go talk to her dad.
And you see in movies like it's something like that's
all around respect.
It's kind of just I feel like if you know about weddings, like you have to do that. Yeah. Like someone who comes from a broken home, maybe not, but like if you come from like a home that's traditional, like meaning you guys got like your parents are married, they went through the whole married process. Your parents are still together. You're raised in a house with both parents. Like if you come from that household, like which is a lot of people in the suburban area around here. Like they know that that's the process.
Like with my parents, they didn't go through that. I mean, my mom didn't have the most together home growing up, so maybe that's why.
That's what I'm saying. Like
they never flat out told me like that's what they wanted, but I feel like that's something that they would probably want to experience.
I want that as a standard, and I want for my children to have that standard, like to ask, like if you want to get married, I think it's polite to ask the parents, because there are parents who
what if they say no?
Like, well,
I'm gonna marry her anyway.
Yes,
marry that
so
girl.
I told that person, if they say no, well, you did what I asked you to do.
Yeah.
You asked them.
I don't give a shit. I'm still
put it on.
Like respectfully, you said no, but respectfully, I'm gonna marry her.
Yeah. Just so you know. Yeah. I was just doing this to be nice.
Yeah, I think that's just. Like,
I don't care what you say.
I think that tradition of just like, listen, if they say no,
let's be real.
Yeah, if they say no, they say no.
Don't matter.
We just did it because I wanted you to. I knew what the answer was gonna be already, but you kind of did it already. So like that, like certain stuff like that, I definitely agree with saying hello. Because I felt some type of way when people come in and like.
I say hello to everybody.
You're not gonna say hi?
Everybody that I pass by at work, I'd be like, hello. Like, people be looking at me sideways.
I mean, I kind of have to do it. It's my job because like I'm the first person that they see when they walk in. I'm like, hi.
Just be walking the highways.
No, I work like a
building. Hey, how are you?
Hi. Yeah.
I work in a building where it's different departments, so I always say hi to people. Like, I'm like, oh, hi. And like when I go to my office building, I'm like, hello, everyone. And good morning and stuff like that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I say good morning too. My good mornings do not sound like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, good morning. How was your night?
They're not like, I'm not going in, but like, that respect is there. And I think there's certain respect that I agree with, and there's certain respect that we are losing as time goes on.
Question. So, you know how, like, in the Latin household, we greet each other, you know, you say hi, however form you say hi or whatever. When you go to your significant other's house or their place where they live or their family, do you go about the same? I mean,
that's a conversation you should have with your partner. You should see what their standards are.
No, I'm saying, like, do you do the same? That's what I'm asking.
For me, I've always
done the same. I've done the same, but it was like the same culture, so it was to be expected.
I've dated a black guy.
Yeah.
And I always said hi.
And is he Black American, Black Caribbean, like
Black American? But he also like say hi. Like it's like that is big.
Like just
he had to tell you.
No, like he said no. Like one time I went in first, and then he came in later. And he was like, "Did you say hi?" I'm like, "Yeah, I said hi." Like obviously, and it was like, "Oh, okay, good," because it was like making sure like, please say hi, because there he has experienced people who just walk in the house, and it's like,
weird.
How do you greet them?
For me, I'm like, so I'll say hi, auntie, hi, uncle, like hi, everybody. Like
you just say hi. That's what she's saying. Like, do you do anything other than?
Oh, I give him. I give him like a kiss and like stuff like that. Like
So, but was that something he told you, or you just give him a kiss because that's your culture?
So I just said hello because they gave him a kiss because he was all. We both went into it at the same time. It was kind of like a natural like kind of the same time. So it wasn't. I even thought about it at the time. There's the other sisters I don't like really kiss on the cheek because it's like, but I always say hi to them.
Yeah.
Like I walk in, I go to like, oh hi guys, like make sure, because going into someone's house and just going straight into like where someone, that's kind of weird. That I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that was like another thing I felt really uncomfortable when I was leaving the house. It was kind of like I would say goodbye to him.
Yeah.
But they gave me they're like, this is your home too. Just leave, like open the door, close, put the code in. I felt weird about closing the garage and just like exiting that way. I feel like it's weird. I was like, I think you should walk me out. Like, I don't want like.
Yeah, no, I feel like I have to be walked out.
Yeah,
like I'm not leaving. You're walking.
Yeah,
out. We're saying we're saying bye at the door.
Yeah,
or not. Mind you, not walking me out. Coming in, just being freely coming in.
Oh no,
that's something I had to get.
You're opening the door for me every single time.
I'm here.
That's how I get.
Wait till I see him at the door, then I go in.
But now they felt disrespected. That because I was in the car, I was like waiting for him to like.
Did you have that like conversation?
Yes, he's like, "Why are you waiting in the car? Just come in the house." So for me, that took a big adjustment because you're also told you just don't walk into somebody's house.
I would have been like, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel comfortable.
Did you feel like that's something that you were forced to do?
No.
Okay.
Because it got to a point where it's like, I'm gonna go in. I felt comfortable. I'm like, okay, I felt comfortable. It kind of made me feel good inside too. It's like okay, but to the start of it. I was so uncomfortable. I was like, the garage is open. I'm like, I hope no one's in the kitchen. and then the house has that security. It's like garage door. I'm like,
no, I would have.
They know I'm here, but now
I feel like you have to have that conversation with your partner.
And since some of us aren't really with people who are in the Latin community or somewhat, do you greet the family the same way or like? In that same form?
I greet them, but I think for me, of experience, I give a kiss to them. But I think I'd be more weary of not Latin. I wouldn't be so quick to kiss somebody on the cheek.
Yeah.
A hug is a little different, maybe.
So, okay. So I feel like it depends. You have to have that conversation with your partner.
Yeah.
Because like, what if like it's disrespectful to kiss the men?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like for us, it's normal to kiss males. Like
males, like in the Latin community, I'm like I'll kiss them, whatever. But like whenever I'm like greeting someone who's
a
not,
male, who's not.
I just hug or handshake. That's it.
A handshake is never a bad thing.
Have you guys ever experienced talking to someone and you go meet their family and their family's not as
physical?
Yeah, or like they're not very green.
Yeah. Like whenever I go in and like I go in my boyfriend's house, I say hi. Like when I first like saw them again, like I gave them a hug because I haven't seen them in like God knows how many years. Like I gave them a hug. But like after that, I would just like say hi because it's just like they don't. I don't know. I just feel
they're
like
not the very like. Oh, like
but like, have you talked to your partner about that? Like, how do you guys say hi? Like,
no, because I didn't feel like it was necessary. Because he just tells me, he's like, oh, say hi. Like, but he doesn't tell me like I have to like do this, and this. He's just like, oh, just make sure.
So
like,
you assume like there's really no way. Well, obviously, if you've been going to their house and they haven't said anything.
Yeah, they haven't said anything. They just like, you know, but you say hi when you walk in, like when I go in there. Yeah, which like I always do.
Do you set those respect for your significant other about how you should greet each other?
Each other
sometimes like around like my family we aren't so like affectionate but like when we're saying goodbye around like his family like I'm okay like to give a kiss, but like obviously we're not kind of a full out makeout session.
Yeah.
But like around my family, I was like, yeah, we can like do like a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah,
like I don't know why, like maybe I'm like I don't know what it is, maybe I'm just being weird, but it's just like
to kiss someone in front of like my parents.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird.
That's a no. That's a dub.
And I feel like that's also in a respect kind of way.
Yeah, but it's like why does that fall under like a respect thing?
I know.
Like why can't I just?
Like, I just feel awkward about it. Like I don't want to see.
Awkward too.
I don't want to see my dad. Like I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want my dad to see me do that. Like no.
Yeah.
I had
I don't think it's a respect thing. I just don't want.
She came to work because her daughter and her boyfriend are lovey-dovey in front of it, and she kind of like I kind of feel a little disrespected.
Yeah,
I was like, I get it, like, cause she said they'll be kissing on each other, like falling.
I just feel like it's just awkward.
Yeah,
it's just awkward.
Yeah,
like I would never do that in front of my parents.
That feels like weird. Like just like
I've cuddled in front of my parents.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
She's like, oh,
we'll like be next to each other, like on the couch, but like not
like
full on like my head on him.
I've cuddled. Same with my sisters. Like she's cuddled in front of my parents. Like sometimes I'll be walking home and her fiance are like cuddled up, and I'm like, hey guys. And then, but like when they say bye, like I just be obnoxious, I'm like, ew, you guys are gross. Get a room. But like I feel like. You have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys tell your partners like, oh, when you come to my place, like you have to?
Yeah.
You prepare them.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, just make sure you say. He's like, no, I know, and I was like, I know, but I just.
But do you have them like also give the kiss and everything?
No, but I tell him like just make sure you like when you see my dad like greet him. It's usually with the handshake. But with my mom, just like a hi because. I feel like my mom she's tough. She's a tough bird. She's a tough bird, so I don't think she would.
Bird, tough cookie.
yeah,
your mom is tough.
So I don't think I didn't tell him to like greet her with like any other form because I don't think she would be comfortable.
Okay.
Not him because he'll be like if I tell him to do it, like he would do it.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel like she would be comfortable.
So I have a question for someone who like if you bring a significant other and they have like a tattoo or like earrings, do you tell that significant other like to hide it? Is that for more like a respect thing?
I don't care. I feel like it is what it is. I mean, my parents are going to talk shit regardless. And everybody else is going to talk shit. But at the same time, I'm just like, whatever. I personally don't care.
I feel like with friends, I'm not with clothes. It's like if you're wearing a crop top, I'll be like, you got a sweater? Or something like that. Mainly because, like, I don't know. You know how my parents are. But
I feel like it's solely because of your parents. So.
Is it because you also want to be respectful in the fact like
and I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's her parent thing because I really don't care.
I don't care. Like that's one thing I think also growing up and always having to kind of change your appearance to make someone else feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's like they probably see that as us being respectful, but it's not being respectful towards the other person.
Yeah, you know what? I don't care either because like I have cousins that have tattoos and piercings. I mean, I have piercings myself, so and my parents hate them. So I might as well have my partner just be authentically who they are.
Yeah.
because I know they're gonna talk shit. Just so you know, they're gonna talk. Like, I'll give them a heads up. Just so you know, they're gonna talk shit about all your tattoos and piercings.
Yeah.
But they talk shit about all of us. So it is what it is. At least you're part of the crew.
Yeah. They care enough to talk shit.
That's true. That's another thing
if
too.
they didn't care, they wouldn't have said nothing.
Exactly.
Period.
So we talked about speaking up. We talked about letting things go. I'm gonna have I have a little like game. So I'm gonna give you guys a scenario, and I'm gonna ask you something, and you're gonna tell me if you're gonna speak up about it or you're gonna let it go. So one of them is your weight is always being brought up. Do you speak up or let it go?
You definitely speak up, because if not, it's gonna keep being brought up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another one is your relationship status. Every time you go to an event,
let it go.
Yeah.
Like, I hate when people are like, oh, I hate that.
You don't have to explain much.
You just be like, no. Okay, you know why I hate when people get upset about that? I don't know. Maybe I side too much with my tios and tias. But, like, honestly, they don't know shit about you.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, honestly, that's just, like, me saying, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Like, they're just, like,
you still with the on to the next.
Yeah, like, I feel like
they
don't say it to be, like, mean and be like, you're still single.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have your tias that do, like, I
have cousins who be like, oh, Mary, you still... Yes, I am.
Yeah, but, like, I feel like some people are malicious in that way, and they just want to rub it in. Some people just honestly want to know.
Yeah,
they want to update on your life because you don't communicate that to them on a daily basis. Like, how many of you call up I mean, I call them my tias sometimes, but like, how many of you honestly call up your tias and be like, hey tia, how are you?
I'm seeing someone.
Yeah, I decided to talk to someone. Like, I like him. This is
no, my mom does that for me. She updates everyone.
Everyone knows.
It's true. Yeah. So like, I feel like they just ask out of curiosity most of the time, not because I mean, some of them are chismosas.
I say I agree. Let it go.
Let it go. Just answer. Keep it short. If it bothers you that much,
I've told them.
Then look within yourself, because you're
look at your relationship. There's something about your relationship.
I told my aunt, I was like, I'll let you know though. You'll be the first one to know. Like, it doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me
So
personally.
the next one is, where are the kids? When are you gonna have kids?
When are you having kids?
When are you gonna have kids?
That doesn't bother me. I'll be like, I'm too broke for that. Like,
I do the same thing. Though they regret saying, when are you gonna have kids?
Yeah.
Because the second they say that, it opens up the door for me to like explain of why kids
and why we can't afford kids in this economy.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you X, Y, and Z and what I have to pay for.
Yes.
And they'll be like,
I am sorry.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you. So I feel like personally, that might bother someone.
It won't bother me. I'll just entertain the hell out of it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like, they'll feel bad that they asked me.
Yeah.
But I could see how that could be an issue. Like, if someone's actually trying to have kids
and something
it's just not working out.
Yeah.
Or like, they honestly don't want kids.
Yeah.
And that could be
They're
annoying.
tired of explaining
why they don't want kids. Like, I eventually do want kids. I just... I want to live my life.
Yeah. So it's all preference. Like, that's something I would let it go. That comment that I'm sure all we heard. You better learn how to clean up and cook if you ever want to find yourself a husband.
Mommy says that all the time. Mommy's like, I say that. Mommy says that to me. I'd be like, Ma, why do you think I work so hard? It's so I can have a maid, a cook, like a beautician. What fuck you mean?
Yeah, I'll be like, cook for who? He gotta cook for me.
Ew, what you mean? You're asking the wrong person.
Literally, I'll be like,
dude, I entertain the shit out of that.
My dad be making my breakfast, have my coffee ready. I was like, I need that in a husband,
right?
Like, what?
My tia's cringe. My tia's cringe, because I'd be like, why do you think I make so much money? For what? So I can keep it in a bank? No, it's for the maid I'm gonna get. And she's like, oh yeah, then you're gonna feel bad when your man is fucking the maid. I said, you think the maid is gonna have time to fuck?
That house gonna be dirty because I don't do nothing.
I ain't gonna do shit. The only thing I'm gonna be doing is fucking. Like, the maid is gonna be busy.
Yeah, I would just entertain it.
Yeah, I entertain it too. Yeah. But like I said, like, it can get annoying. It depends on where you're at in life.
And I feel like it depends how they ask as well.
Yeah.
They'd be like, if they try to bring like my mom, they're like, oh, your mom didn't teach you da 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 da.
Yeah,
like,
now you're disrespecting my mom. Cause like, I know how to do that shit.
Then I'm gonna get disrespectful.
Latins are quick. Let's be real. They're quick to be like, who raised you? Your parents should have done that.
I'm like, you want to talk to Gladys?
Or they'd be like, oh, you don't know how to do it? Oh, I know how to do it, honey. I just got money, unlike you, to pay someone to do it.
Yeah.
And that's where it always goes, especially because I hate to do that, but it's always like my Dominican family from the campo. Like, you live under, God forgive me, but I basically pay for what you live because my parents be sending you money monthly.
Yeah.
So, like, how are you going to disrespect me? So I'm going to disrespect you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could both be respectful.
I go to Western Union. Nothing's there this month.
Right? Oh, no hay dinero. Yeah. You're going to be hella tight when you're trying to collect
Be like, Mari,
your rent.
dinero.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I always go there with those who are disrespectful when they're like, oh, you don't know how to do that. Oh, like, you're a gringa. They love to throw you're a gringa. In DR, I am proudly a gringa because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a gringa. I have a lot of money. I have a job. I'm educated.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're not. I'm sorry you're a campesino. I have to do it because if not,
they'll run over you.
They'll run over you.
Yeah.
So some of my cousins don't fuck with me like that, or like they'll play it off and laugh. I'm like,
so would you consider that speaking up, not so much like addressing the issue, but like I'm gonna give it back to you as well?
Yeah.
Would you kind of say that? Because like for me letting go, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah. You personally won't say nothing.
If it's letting go, I'm like, oh, whatever. Like
in that situation, you're gonna let it go.
And like when I think of let it go, I'm not gonna like.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything.
But that's what we're saying. We'll let it go, but like it depends on how they address. So if they're disrespectful, then we're gonna be disrespectful.
Yes. Yeah.
We're not gonna let it go. It depends on how you coming to me.
Yeah.
Like if you're coming to me like,
because I feel like
left.
With that comment, I feel like I've heard that comment, not to me, but just like in general, kind of disrespectful. Like, oh, your mom didn't teach you to like cook and clean.
Yeah,
how you supposed to get a man? How you supposed to keep a man?
Yeah,
I've been there. Yeah,
I've heard that
then
in a
I don't
very
let it go.
negative way,
Yeah.
but not like, oh, did your mom teach you how to make tortillas? Like that's never said in a nice way.
Or like, do you know how to make habichuelas? So when you have a husband, I'm like, no, I don't know how to make. I tell them I don't know how to make shit. I was like, honestly, I don't even know how to make eggs. They'd be like, what? I'm like, yeah.
I don't know which goes first, the milk or the cereal.
Like, I could barely. I always tell them if mommy's not cooking, I'm not eating.
Oh my god.
And they'd be like, wow. I'd be like, yeah. Cause like I feel like you just have to. I don't know. I play around with it.
You gotta love. You gotta level with. You gotta be on there. Like
I just because they think because you live in America you're dumb. I'm just like,
or you can't do anything for yourself. All right, so this has been coming up a lot lately. You hear a family member talk about like being ignorant when it comes to politics and race and like sexuality and all that stuff. Do you speak up or let it go? Especially if they're talking to you about it.
I mean, what is the topic?
So
yeah,
like
what's the topic?
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it depends.
So for
break it down.
So this one I have is more of a race thing.
Okay.
The ignorance of I've always heard this for people who have been dark around me, like cuidado, you don't want to be too dark when you go into the sun.
Oh, shut up, bro.
I've never had that.
Like,
really, I've heard that a lot. And I remember I grew up with a girl, she always told her son that. He was darker. Like, get out of the sun.
Yeah.
And people were like, yeah, get him out the sun. He's going to get too dark. Yeah. And she herself, when she goes swimming, she's melanin skin. She wears a full-blown T-shirt, pants.
I've gotten told that, but I don't listen because, like, I don't care.
Like, for your niece.
It's my skin. This is my
for your niece, would you speak up? Like,
oh, yeah.
Don't tell my niece that.
Like, for me, I'll let it go because I don't care. But if someone says it about my niece, like, I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Period.
Yeah, I've never been told that. Honestly, and we'll have another like episode on that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was always the one to stay out of the sun. I fucking hate the sun.
This is just a self-preference.
Yeah.
So they never told me.
I was under the umbrella.
Yeah. No, but like I feel like at some point it was like, this is gonna sound horrible, but maybe I didn't want to be that dark. But now I just hate the sun because it fucking burns. Like, I'm not gonna hold you.
So
I don't know who lied to me.
It's just like a feeling.
Yeah, I don't know who lied to me, but like if I get too much sun, no, it burns. Like I get sunburned.
Oh my god,
I'm black and I get sunburned, and especially right here. Yeah, it just starts to.
Yeah, this is where I get burned first, and right here.
Yes,
but I've heard it
right here.
But I don't hear it as "be careful, the sun is damaging." I hear it, "be careful, you don't want to be too dark."
You don't want to get too dark.
Yeah, I've gotten that.
I mean, I've heard not that, but like I've heard like not breeding with darker people because you don't want your kids to get mejorar la raza. But like I said, that's a whole nother conversation. And we'll have that coming.
Is that something you speak up?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I would speak up. I'd be like, if it's for the, like, I don't want you to get too dark. Yeah. Like, I would speak up.
Yeah, I would speak up.
And be like, what you mean? The darker, the better.
Yes, I remember.
The darker the fruit, the sweeter the juice.
I remember growing up, and for me, I was like, why? Like, it's
no, I feel like you say something about, like, you know, not wanting your kids to be that, like, someone saying that they don't want your kids to be that dark. Like, you're disrespecting my partner and my relationship and my kids. Yeah. So that is taken very seriously, and that's very disrespectful.
And I've seen it being passed on. The mom is saying it to the own child. Yeah. And it's kind of like that boundary that no one spoke up about that. Yeah. No. So that's something I would speak up
Not
about.
letting that fly.
No.
So yeah.
Thank God I've never been there.
I feel like I'll hear it, to be honest.
Probably. Welcome.
Yeah.
You guys are both into like darker skin, so you guys will have your plate full with experiences you guys never personally experienced.
Yeah. I've set boundaries on that certain things like that. It's like that's not a issue. Like, why do you ponder on that? Like, I'm not destroying nothing. There's no culture being destroyed. There's nothing being like tarnished.
First of all, they destroyed the culture when you came to America. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So,
yikes.
But I'm gonna speak up on certain things. There's certain things I will pass down, and there's certain things I won't.
You mean like let go?
Yeah. There's certain things I'll be more mindful of. I don't think I want to put so much pressures on certain things. Yeah. But I definitely want to teach my kids like greet, say hello. Be that, but I definitely want to make sure those boundaries are no longer crossed when certain comments are made. Yeah, because I know the impact it had on me. Yeah, I don't want the impact on my children.
And especially how to like respond to certain people, because there's certain people, like she said, you can throw fire with fire, and it's just like
banter back and forth.
Okay, but there's some people that you may approach it differently.
Yeah, you have to like sit down and have this conversation and be like, listen, this is the ultimatum. Yeah, you stop or you're out.
Yeah. Yep.
So be respectful. Respect me, I respect you.
That's bottom line.
Bottom line.
I
don't care, Grandma.
My grandma's the homie. So
my grandma's the homie. The one thing you can't disrespect her on is do not ask her age.
Oh yeah, really? You did say that. She gets offended.
She does not like when someone. Everything else.
I didn't think people really got offended with that anymore. I thought it was just like a myth.
For her, that's one thing, because she says if you know her age, you can if you know her children's age, they can calculate her age. That's just one thing.
That's her. She's a little bit like bougie in denial.
That's okay, because I always say when her 90th birthday party comes up, we're gonna throw her a big one. We won't plan it.
Anyways,
have
a good one.
Have a good one,
guys.
Stay tuned.